What is up, everyone? This is Joe Rowan, your lead fantasy analyst at Just Baseball. And today, let's talk about some starting pitchers for 2025 fantasy baseball. I have my top 12 listed here, and I want to talk about these guys. So, let's just start off. And I just want to tell you my strategy when it comes to pitching. I always wait a few rounds before I take my first guy. Some disagree with me, some agree, but I always like to spend my money on offense, if you will, in the first couple rounds. And then I like to look for the pocket aces. I like to look for the aces in rounds number 4 and 5 to lead my rotation. So, if you're predominantly drafting for offense early on, like I do, your pitchers better perform up to standard. So you better know who you're going to trust and who you're going to take. I'm here to point out which starting pitchers to stake your confidence in this fantasy baseball season. So with that, let's get going with it. At number 12, we have Spencer Schwellenbach, and don't let this guy slip. I mean, he's going in the 90s when it comes to ADP, and that is way, way, way too late. I mean, this guy is going to be an ace this season. He should be going 5 rounds earlier, at least. Um, so yeah. And if you haven't heard of the guy, he kind of flew under the radar last season. Uh, I see this guy gaining a lot of wins in this a part of this Atlanta team. It's funny enough, he was a shortstop at the University of Nebraska, and then they turned him into a pitcher. So he's got a lot of upside. He could be the greatest value in 2025. So don't let him slip too far down the draft board. And then coming in at number 11 is Framber Valdez, and who's very stable and reliable. With Schwellenbach, he has a higher upside, but we don't know what his floor looks like. Framber Valdez has a higher floor. Few guys have shown the ability to stay as consistent on the bump as Valdez has. It was surprising to see him slip up a little at the beginning of 2024. However, once he was including the curveball more, he was nearly unstoppable. It's a filthy pitch. He finished the year with a 2.91 ERA and is one of the few guys in the league who can eat innings in a way that allows him to throw around 200 innings per season. I love the stability, so take him all day long. Number 10, we have Spencer Strider, who may be out for the first month or so of the season, but he's scheduled to be back, and um, I like his upside, even with being out a little bit. Once he does come back, his performance will outshine so many other pitchers. And he doesn't have a hefty arsenal. He really doesn't. He simply overpowers batters to the point of exhaustion. Uh, he's not going to be ready for the opening of 2025, but when he does come back, give me those ratios all day long and those wins in the talented Atlanta Braves offense that boosts him up even more. Next, we have number 9, and that is Jacob deGrom. And folks, just like Mike Trout, all reports out of spring training is he's healthy to go. So let's get it going on deGrom. I need deGrom to work out. I need this contract to look better for the Rangers. I'm rooting for him. And he's still got the nasty stuff in the league when he is right. He does. I guess we're gonna find out what he's made of in 2025, and we got to cash in on his ADP because people are scared of the injury risk. They are, but you got to take advantage of that. That's a lot of times it's the only way you can win a championship. If you rely on him to be your, SP2 or something like that, that's how you win a championship because you've taken him later in the draft and you're not relying on him to be your SP1. So yeah, trust in DeGrom and we'll hope that he pays us back. Coming in at number 8 is a healthy Tyler Glasnow, and I don't know, guys. He looked good all last year, and then again the injury bug hit him. A lot of people didn't have him for their fantasy playoffs, which is a bummer. That said, though, he's got some of the nastiest stuff out there, and he plays for the Dodgers, who are going to give him countless wins if he stays healthy. For Strider, DeGrom, and Glasnow, that's the biggest question. Pitching in general, you gotta count on health, and hopefully they can stay out there. Next up is number 7, Michael King, and he's got a nasty sweeper, folks. And Yankees fans, they got to the World Series, they didn't win it, but the Soto trade really did work out for both of them. They won the American League, they won the pennant. Michael King was great for the Padres, who I believe, would have won the whole thing if they would have beat the Dodgers just one more game. They were up 2-1. They had them. I thought the Padres were a better team last year. But Michael King is the ace of this rotation. I don't care what you say. I still like him better than Dylan Cease, and he's going to be nasty all season long. Next up, we have number 6, and that's Cole Ragans of the Kansas City Royals. Yeah, again, another win-win trade. Back in 2023, when Texas sent Ragans to Kansas City in exchange for Aroldis Chapman, the Rangers won a championship with Chapman in the back end with high leverage situations coming in clutch, while the Royals got their future ace. With a few tweaks here and there, it was amazing to see what Reagan's turned into. His only flaws, he occasionally struggles with shaky command. Other than that, he's rock solid. Go with Reagan's. He's a southpaw ace. Speaking of another southpaw ace, we have Garrett Crochet, and I can't say enough about what this guy can do. He could be the number 1 overall SP, especially playing for a team that has a real offense, a real good offense in Boston now, compared to the horrid Chicago White Sox squad last year he pitched for. He led the American League in strikeouts per 9 at 12.9, sitting down batter after batter with no hard feelings. He was amazing, and I think he's going to do much of the same this year. Next, we have Paul Skeens coming in at number 4. Now, can you keep it up over a full season? We'll see. He is in the top 3, and I'd like to see him do it 2 years in a row, but he just added a cutter to his arsenal, which is even more crazy because he literally has like 6 or 7 offerings now. And the data supports everything Skeens did. So he's, with how mediocre the Pirates were, it's impressive to see that Skeens still put up 11 wins in his rookie season and won Rookie of the Year. Just crazy. Number 3 is Zach Wheeler, and combines dominance and durability. Sure. I mean, he's one of the most consistent producers out there. There isn't anyone on this list who eats innings quite like Wheeler does. The next closest would be Framber, but Wheeler does it even better than he does. He's one of the few pitchers who reached the 200 inning mark, which is so important, so valuable in fantasy. No pitcher ever does that. It used to be, you're a workhorse if you get to 250, 300 even back in the day. No, these days 200 is the mark, and that's ultra valuable to have on your fantasy rotations. Next up, we have number 2 and Chris Sale, and what a comeback for the 35-year-old. Won a National League Cy Young Award. Thankfully, I bought in, and I had him on my Dynasty League championship team. It was a great year for us, and he helped me win it. He danced to the tune of a 2.38 ERA and 1.01 WHIP, struck out 225 victims in a little over 177 total innings. He was, again, like I said before, he was the sort of pick which changed everything for me and which led me to a championship. I had a pocket ace. I got him at such a low price in the draft. He returned so much value, Cy Young value, and that's what won me a championship. Sometimes you got to take chances on guys like him and DeGrom, who are injury prone. And number 1, let's round it out with my boy, the Southpaw himself from the Motor City, Tarek Skubal. Tarek Skubal, he's an ace among aces. How insane is it that some people were suggesting the Tigers trade this guy at the deadline, and then they went on their playoff run? It's just insane. He's a frontline ace. He's the best in the game coming into 2025. If you really want to see a crazy stat, just look at his FIP the past 3 seasons: 2.96, 2.00, and 2.50. Anything under 3 is incredible. That's an incredible FIP number. They back it all up for this young man, and this Tigers team, they're next up. Scuba's going to lead the way. And with that, those are my top 12 starting pitchers for Fantasy Baseball 2025. Would love to have you guys along with us on this channel all season long. I'll be here with you, giving you some tips and tricks. Thank you very much for watching. Follow me on Twitter at JRose34. Give me any fantasy questions you have. Let me know. Be happy to talk with you guys. Until next time, have a good one.